The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18 plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
We are back, and with me right now is the author of a brand new book. His name, you know him from WABC here in New York and around the country and around the world, in fact, is Sean Spicer, former communications director for the Republican National Committee, served as press secretary for President Trump during his first term in office. Sean, how are you?
Good, Dominic. Thanks for being with me.
Of course. So the book, your new book, is titled Trump 2.0. The reviews are outstanding, and it's all about the revolution that will permanently transform America. It's an insider's look at the MAGA movement and President Trump. So I guess I just want to ask you, and I'm going to get to the book in 10 seconds, your take on what happened in Washington as someone is so involved with the media.
Well, in one way, it was shocking that it was so brazen that happened. On another way, it wasn't. When you look at the rhetoric that the left leaders, Democratic officials have used towards people on the right, it wasn't shocking as an outcome because they've talked about Trump being a threat to democracy, getting people that work in the Trump administration, whether it's Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. They've used inflammatory rhetoric that has radicalized people on the left. And so I don't think it can be that big of a surprise when somebody finally acts on it, when you tell them over and over again that somebody is a threat.
Absolutely, Sean Spicer. So President Trump, in your brand new book, I think this is your fourth book. You've had a best-selling children's book. You're originally, I believe, from Rhode Island. You've served our country and so on. But in your book, you state if the president states, if you want to understand the people, the policies, and the process of my second term in office, read this book. What's the main point you want to get across to the American people?
So the point of Trump 2.0 is to explain why it's different, Dominic. Every other president, except for one previously who served 2 terms, has been consecutive. President Trump's the first one in modern history not to have back-to-back terms. And those 4 years out of office are critical to understand why he's going to be so successful. So whether you're a Trump lover or you don't like the guy, you need to understand why. And these people that he's brought in it's a very different administration than Trump 1.0. And that's what I tried to get across. But it's not just saying it, it's explaining it. So why is the MAHA movement to keep America healthy and well so extraordinary? It's because of how it's being approached in Trump 2.0. Why are we finally tackling NATO and trade and all of these other issues? Part of it is because President Trump, had a roadmap that was created during his time out of office, but he's also got the right people that understand the agenda and how to do it. And, Dominic, I try to tell people who are sports fans, it's like if you play a team at the beginning of a season and then play them again at the end of the season, when you play them a second time, you have a better strategy. You know how they're going to approach your team. You know what players played well in that first match. And that's why this is so different.
Wow. So, Sean Spicer, a question that I guess perhaps you're the only person that I can think of that can answer this for me. Why won't the media give this man credit for the tremendous job that he's done?
Well, I mean, funny you ask that. And we started this conversation off by talking about the White House Correspondents' Dinner and by extension, the White House Correspondents Association. I have an entire chapter in Trump 2.0 about this. And it comes down to they don't like him. There's Trump derangement syndrome. He threatens their way of life. I mean, to use a phrase that they love to use in terms of threaten, like he doesn't treat the media the way every other politician does, which is to suck up to him. You hear the names that he calls them. He will challenge them. He will sue them when they're wrong. He holds them accountable. They don't like that. They want to be coddled and treated like the elitist little group that they are. And that's I mean, they all want their rear ends kissed and sucked up to. And Trump, basically is like, hey, I'm driving this train. You're along for the ride.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you just said. Just another 2 minutes. You have a tight schedule, Sean, and I have to adhere to that today. It's my contention that President Trump has an outstanding chance of going down in history as the greatest president ever. To which you say what?
That's exactly why you should read Trump 2.0. It's not just that he had a great agenda. The plotting and the planning that existed in those 4 years out, what America First policy did to put a roadmap together, what Project 2025 was, may have been derided by the media, but it served as a blueprint for everybody coming back into government as to where to start, what to do, how to do it. And that's why I wrote the book, is so that people could understand it's not just happenstance that he is being successful. There was a plan. The plan was out there, and there were groups and people plotting his return, and they are being able to successfully implement that. But that's the key, Dominic, is to understand that why. Why is he doing this? It's like somebody built a beautiful house, and you go, wow, that's amazing. Well, it didn't just happen. An architect put it together, put those plans for people to work off of. And that's what happened in Trump 2.0. And why I wrote this book is so that people could understand what the plans look like.
Sean Spicer, the book is out now. Congratulations. The book titled Trump 2.0. We were just talking with the author, Sean Spicer, who's on his radio show here on WABC in New York, and also throughout different locations. Full Court Press with Sean Spicer airs Sundays 10 to 11 a.m. Sean, thank you very much.